What's up, guys? I got the keys here. Today, I want to talk about something that I kind of, found out myself, but it's really about, you know, taking your light and shining it on others and shining it on the world, right? And I mean, you have to, you know, go within and find this within yourself first and take care of you first. Make sure that you're whole, right? And then you can spread your love and your light to others, right? And from your darkness, you learn how to spread that light, right? Now, some people can take their darkness and make more darkness because they don't have empathy, right? They don't, for them, it's like they see the world in a darker view, right? But when you light that fire within yourself and you carry that torch, right? And in a lot of the, pictures and stuff of mythology and, even with Jesus, right? He had the heart and it was on fire, right? Because it's the light of your heart, but also the mind, right? There's the chalice, right? And that torch is lit on the head, right? Because it's your light mind, right? When we change from the ego mind to our divine mind, okay? And this is where we see oneness. We see that the mind and heart are connected, right? So emotion, intuition, right? And then you have imagination. So first you have to imagine, right? And then you have intuition or feeling, okay? So you imagine something and you feel what it's like to be that thing, be that person, right? Seeing it through your own eyes in first person, right? And, you're already experiencing it right there and then. And so when you carry a light, guys, it spreads to other people, okay? And, you'll start to notice this as you get along your journey, right? It's like all you have to do is be around somebody and they start doing things that you do. And imitation is flattery, right? Now, there's people that will copy you because they're jealous, because they're envious, and they want to be you, which is strange because they should want to be themselves, right? But you'll also encourage people to be somebody better, right? To enhance themselves. So like I started eating better. I noticed that people would, compliment me on that and say, I'd like to do that someday. Or, I got sober and people would come up to me and be like, man, I really envy that, I'd like to be like that someday, right? And it's just goes to show that like you really do have an impact on the world, guys. Like, you are the most important person in your own world. And this isn't to be like a narcissist. This is just what it is, right? This is without ego. And because you move with such a confidence and a presence within yourself, right? People know that, they feel that. And what you do behind closed doors shows up in your reality, right? People can feel that in your energy. And like, they may not say it or, whatever, but they'll get intuitive hits too, they may not be aware of it. But some people are, right? And, they can see the things in your aura, right? In your soul. And so when you're doing things behind closed doors that are not serving you, then how are you going to serve others, right? And I mean, nobody's perfect. Obviously, we all do things that aren't perfect, right? We all have our vices. We all have our things that we use to escape the world or whatever. But maybe it's time we don't escape things and we see them for what they are, right? Where are we at right now? Are we bored? Are we angry? Are we lazy? Are we unmotivated? Are we, etc.? But once you can acknowledge these things, then you can start to ask the questions on how do I solve them, right? How do I figure this out? And then that light spreads to others, and then they can figure it out, okay? So, again, even with me making YouTube videos, right? This spreads awareness to other people that they can do what they want to do with their life, right? They can create what they want to create. This is my choice of what I chose to do. But your choice might be music or writing or, being a teacher or whatever, whatever your heart is calling to. But ultimately, you are going to change the world for the better if you're staying on top of yourself, right? That means taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, and taking care of your soul, because you are a 3-part triune being, right? And all of that is one. So even though the body is going to pass away, right, at some point, even people that say that there's physical immortality, which, obviously I think is very possible if you really believe that. But also at that same point, you never know what could happen in life, right? And so anyways, it's like all three of these work together, right? Body, mind, soul. Okay. And when you can have all three in alignment with each other, then you get action, right? You get discipline, you get confidence, you get a balance, right, between your masculine and feminine energies. And so that creates the child or the sun, right? Which the sun is a light, correct? So when the two parts of your brain are in balance, it creates the soul, the sun, in the center, okay? So mother, father, son, okay? That's the Trinity. And this is why you'll see a lot of celebrities doing the triangle, and they have, the triangle with the eye in the middle, and etc. Now, these people are serving the path to self, which is fine, but that's ultimately going down the negative route. Doesn't mean they're bad. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means they're basically in their egos more than they are in their spirit. And they use these symbols to scare people and get them to think that they're serving some red horned being, right? That isn't even real, okay? And this is meant to scare people and to shade you away from finding yourself, right? Because this is really about the third eye. And the triangle is representing the Trinity, right? And this is in the Bible, guys, so I don't know why everybody seems to think this triangle is some evil thing. Same with the Star of David, right? That is actually your Merkaba, right? Which is a 6-pointed star, okay? But that is actually your light body. That is how you travel through dimensions, right? And it's a upside down triangle and a upright triangle, which is your masculine and feminine energies connecting together and creating the light within the center. So this transports to like multiple parts of you, right? And you are way bigger than this body. You are way bigger than the mind. You are way bigger than just this universe, right? You can expand so far because you're infinite consciousness, right? So again, when you carry a light, guys, this spreads to other people. And you do have a huge influence. So be mindful of what you're putting into yourself, of what you're watching, listening to, eating, what you're doing on a daily basis. How do you talk to yourself? Internally and externally, right? Because I know sometimes I catch myself and I'm like, whoa, I got to watch how I talk here because, words are spells, guys. And like, we don't realize how much impact we have when we say something to ourselves. A lot of people will say, like when they're laughing at a joke or something, I'm dead, right? Which, you think is harmless, which in some aspects it is. But if you're feeling the emotion that comes with that after you say it, right now you've made it a manifestation, right? And I don't mean this to scare you, but we should just be more cautious of what we're thinking and what we're saying, what we're watching, what we're doing, and who we're being, right? Ultimately, it's just striving to become the best you, which you're doing every day, right? So keep carrying your light, keep carrying the torch, and light the way for the others, right? Become a leader. And that's not to make you an egotistical, asshole. That's to, show the way for other people. So use your heart, light the way. Use your divine mind and light the way. Show people that they can do it too. And that this world is not only you, although it is. That's the paradox, right? But with that being said, guys, I hope you got something out of this. I hope that it inspired you to change your life and find that light within yourself. Reactivate it. Remember who you are. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.